Another state removing thousands of non-citizens from its voter rolls. Virginia removing over 6,500 declared non-citizens after Judicial Watch's request for public documents revealed that no voting histories for these individuals were present. The report renewing calls for the Senate to pass the Save America Act when they return from recess in September. Joining me now is Virginia Congressman Ben Cline. He is also a member of the House Judiciary Committee. Congressman, good morning, and thank you for being here. This is your home state. I want to get your reaction to this report because on the left, they argue that these kinds of numbers don't move the needle and therefore they're insignificant. But I'm a stickler for the details, and voting in an election when you are a non-citizen is a crime on the federal and state level.
It is indeed, and it's a tragic day for Virginia when we see that there are 8,000 registrations that have been flagged to non-citizens between 23 and 26, resulting in over 6,000 ballots cast since 2019 by those who should not have been able to cast a ballot. So as someone who is on the ballot in Virginia, running for re-election this year, this places great doubt in the minds of the voters about the security of our system, but our governor is refusing to cooperate, and that is unacceptable. We need to pass the SAVE Act so that governors like Abigail Spanberger cannot obstruct the federal efforts to clean up our voter rolls.
Your thoughts on whether or not the act can actually pass, because it's stalled right now in the Senate?
Well, it's not stalled. I hope that John Thune will move the reconciliation bill that the House passed. He only needs 51 votes with J.D. Vance breaking any ties to pass the reconciliation bill. So all Republican-only votes can pass the SAVE Act. We just need to make sure that our senators listen to their constituents. This is an 80-20 issue. This isn't even a Republican-Democrat issue. Democrats, a majority of Democrats want voter ID to vote, photo ID to vote. It's common sense, and we should pass the SAVE Act when we come back in October.
Tiana, jump in.
September.
Yeah, Congressman, I don't think anyone's denying the fact that D.C. is off in terms of the conversation. Most people do support voter ID. But look, this is not the first time that the House has tried to use a reconciliation party line vote in order to pass the SAVE Act. And the Senate parliamentarian says no dice. So what's different this time around? Don't you theoretically still need to pass it through normal point of order rather than just shoving it in a budget bill?
We do have to get past parliamentarians' ruling, but that can be done through creative processes in the legislation. We can make it a grant program. We can make it a grant program that is obligatory for the states to use the money coming from the federal government to clean up their voter rolls and to require photo ID programs in the state. Virginia doesn't have photo ID. You can use an energy bill for an apartment that you rent in Virginia as proof so that you can vote in our elections, and that's not appropriate.
Let's switch gears for a moment, because the national debt surpassing that record $40 trillion mark, more than doubling since 2017. Arizona Congressman David Schweikert joined the program and warned Maria just how much money the government has been borrowing. Watch this.
We're borrowing now $93,000 every second over the last 12 months. We're in real trouble. We're pushing up bond prices. Look at the 10-year yield right now. A lot of that, those pricing is because the United States government is on a borrowing binge. And how do we convince the bond markets that we're serious? Well, you're going to burn one of the, in many ways, last reconciliation budgets. We have to do parts of the SAVE Act. We absolutely need that. But we also need to convince the markets that we're actually going to start to at least make a small attempt to get our fiscal house in order.
Yeah, and did you say we're borrowing $93,000 every day?
Seconds.
Wow. That is really significant. And obviously the markets have an eye on this, and they worry about it. And this isn't just, Democrat issue. It's also a Republican issue. Some are not that happy with the administration and cutting government spending. That was one of the things that was promised. I mean, fraud, waste, abuse has been identified, but still something has to be done on government programs that are just doling out money to people. And actually it relates to the SAVE Act because many of those people are not citizens of this country.
Absolutely. $40 trillion is unacceptable. Dave Schweikert has it exactly right. We're going to miss him in the House, and we need more like him, because it's going to take a chorus of members echoing these concerns, the effect that it has on interest rates, the fact that our interest on the debt has exceeded the Defense Department's budget. The largest section of our budget has been exceeded by now payments on interest on the debt. So this is not sustainable. It's having an impact in the bond markets. We can see it. It's going to take leadership on all sides to bring forward solutions. Attacking fraud, improper payments, $3 trillion, and we can tackle that and put a significant dent in the debt if we have the will at both ends of Pennsylvania Avenue, and President Trump's doing a great job in leading in combating fraud and abuse.
All right, quick one before we go. We are 74 days away from the midterms. Congressman, you and your Republican colleagues are looking to hold on to a very slim majority in the House and Senate with the hopes of possibly expanding, but the economy top of mind for voters. A recent AP poll finding 41% of adults are extremely or very concerned about affording groceries in the next few months. Most polled say their households have made changes to how they shop, including buying store brands, changing grocery stores, or not buying certain items altogether. Congressman, how can Republicans reassure voters that your party can fix this ahead of the midterms?
We need to connect with voters and explain that we are moving in the right direction. Remember that inflation was almost 10% under Joe Biden. It's down to about 3.5%, but that still means that there's pain at the pump, pain on the grocery shelves, and we've got more to do. We've got to pass the Farm Bill. We've got to pass a budget that's going to keep a government shutdown from happening. We've got to stop and make sure the voters understand the crazy that's knocking at the door. The Mondanis, the AOCs, the policies of the left are going to exacerbate what we see as steps improving the lives of American citizens. They're going to block that. They're going to move it in reverse, and they're going to harm the lives of American citizens if they get in the majority in Congress.
Congressman Ben Cline, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Great to see you.
Good to see you.
Coming up.